Goa's new CM, Pramod Sawant, has won the floor test and they have managed to get the 20 MLAs to vote for them. The BJP has pulled it off. It was, of course, expected. Vasu joins us for more on this. Srinivasan Jain, you've been tracking this. This was expected. It's come at an interesting time. And also, just the fact that they were able to secure all of them in a five-star hotel has paid off.
Well, absolutely, Amitoj, and we've been saying this since the morning that this was really going to be a formality more than anything else, because the entire arrangement, the entire deal was done much before the trust vote by getting the allies on board, by agreeing to most of their conditions, including the unprecedented two-chief minister formula which the BJP has opted for in Goa. So that ensured that the two main allies, which was the MGP and the Goa Forward of Vijay Sardesai and Sudhin Davlikar, were very much on board and helped the BJP get much closer to the halfway mark, even though, as we know, they're not the single largest party. That, with the addition of the three independents, ensured that they were very much in pole position for this trust vote. On the other side, the Congress's position, and always on this, has been more bravado than anything else. No ally or no smaller party was really seriously in talks with them in any sense to actually cross over. So in that sense, this was going to go along predictable lines, and that's what seems to have happened. The challenge, of course, Amitoj, is now how the Chief Minister is going to steer this somewhat unwieldy coalition dependent on these very strong allies who are bound to have numerous demands. That will be a challenge in the weeks and months ahead. But for the moment, Mr. Sawant is very much now home and dry as the Chief Minister of Goa.
I have two more questions for you. The first is leading off from what you have talked about, how the challenge is for Pramod Sawant to make sure that the allies are together and the work that Manohar Parrikar, the legacy that Manohar Parrikar had instituted in Goa will continue. The question is, will it continue with this new formula and a new person at the helm? Is that going to be the big challenge, or in terms of the work that Goa will see, the development that Goa had planned under Manohar Parrikar?
Well, really, it's going to be interesting to see more than anything else how this power sharing arrangement is going to work, because it's never happened before in Goa. Goa is an extremely tiny state, so to actually have three chief ministers virtually, or two deputy chief ministers and a chief minister in a state like Goa, how that arrangement is going to work, given, as we said, the pulls and pressures of the coalition politics, I think that's going to be a big challenge. But I think also, Amitoj, let's keep an eye out on the context. All of this is unfolding very much in election season, and how things play out at the center. Were the NDA to come back with a comfortable majority, then that will only strengthen Mr. Sawant's hands. Was the result in New Delhi to go the other way, then once again that will give an opportunity for the Congress and the others to start fishing in troubled waters. So I think much will also depend in terms of the stability and the continuance of this government on what unfolds in May at the center in New Delhi.
On Monday night, Vasu, I think you and Saurabh, our reporter out there in Goa, used a particular phrase more than any other, and that was that in Goa politics, you never know what happens. So what I want to ask you is the Congress's bravado ended, or could we still see some political potboiler emerging in the next few days, and this is perhaps not just the climax right now?
No, Amitoj, I think it's safe to say that for the moment the chapter in Goa is closed. I don't think the Congress will be attempting anything more, because remember, we're now also going to get into election mode. So I think as far as the stability of this government is concerned, in the immediate short term, one doesn't anticipate any risks. The only issues as I see it emerging are twofold. One, as I said, depending on what sort of play unfolds at the center, and number two, going down the line, if the coalition partners start making increasing pulls and pressures on the BJP, on the Chief Minister, and then that leads to some kind of rupture. Only then again will there be question marks. But that, as I said, is not an immediate factor. That is a mid to more long-term factor.
Thank you so much, Srinivasan Jain, for giving us the latest. Saurabh Gupta joining us. Saurabh, what are you hearing? It's a done deal?
Well, yes, absolutely. The confidence motion has been passed by 20 to 15, so obviously 20 votes in favor of the BJP. The motion is won, so obviously the government has passed the floor test, and this is something that perhaps the BJP knew was a foregone conclusion, but still didn't take any chances. They moved their MLAs to a five-star resort in the morning. The Congress also perhaps knew it was a done deal. but still put up that fight, and they have been going to the governor saying we are the single largest party, but in the end the alliance partners of the BJP and the independent MLAs on whom the BJP had counted on for support stood by them during the vote in the House, and that's really what matters. What someone says outside doesn't really matter if they vote or do not vote in the House. In the House, when the Speaker placed the motion before the House, there was of course a call for vote, and during that call for vote what happened was that motion was passed with 20 votes to 15. Remember, one vote is of course of the Speaker, which is decided in case there is a casting vote in case there's a tie, but comfortably passed BJP for the motion, and that is something that's a relief for the BJP. Though if you're asking me if there's going to be some sort of drama in the future, one really can't rule it out. Goa has by-polls to 3 assembly seats along with the Lok Sabha elections, and much will also depend on those seats, and that those seats will be fought under the leadership of Dr. Pramod Sawant in the state. So that will be his electoral test. He's passed one legislative test, which is the floor test, in which his government has won the majority. The confidence motion has been won. But clearly, this is something that is perhaps the beginning of Dr. Pramod Sawant's journey as Chief Minister of Goa, having been sworn in a midnight ceremony, or post-midnight ceremony actually to be precise. And then, of course, this floor test, which was scheduled for today, which the government has managed to win. Now we are seeing, of course, MLAs coming out, and they are, of course, speaking on the trust vote. Sir, if I could just ask you very quickly, the results went as predicted.
I'm happy. क्यों आज हमारा जो गोवा का मुख्यमंत्री है श्री प्रमोद जी सावंत, ये इसके नेतृत्व में आज हमने फ्लोर टेस्ट भी जीत लिया है. हमारे स्वर्गीय, हमारा गोवा के प्रेरणा स्थान, हमारे गोवा के विकास पुरुष, क्यों जो गोवा में आज विकास दिख रहा है वो 2004 से चालू हुआ है. हर तरफ का विकास है, रोड्स, ब्रिजेस, पंचायत घर,
कुछ सवाल
बस स्टैंड, ये
नंबर्स को लेके कुछ सवाल उठे.
नंबर अच्छा हो गए. हमारा जो सरकार है भारतीय जनता पार्टी एंड अलायंस पार्टनर, सब लोग खुश है. आज सब लोगों ने फ्लोर टेस्ट में अपना वोट दे दिया और ये सरकार बन गई.
थैंक यू सर.
और हमें हमारा जो अभी के मुख्यमंत्री है प्रमोद जी सावंत, उनके ऊपर भरोसा है. जैसे हमारे मनोहर पर्रिकर ने जैसा डेवलपमेंट किया, वही लेवल से आगे के 3 साल में डेवलपमेंट कंप्लीट हो जाएगा.
एक और सवाल है, कुछ ही आने वाले दिनों में 3 बाईपोल का भी एक चुनाव है, और बाईपोल सीट्स का रिजल्ट भी सरकार की स्थायिता पे एक असर
4 बाईपोल का चुनाव है.
मनोहर पर्रिकर जी का सीट तो अभी नोटिफाई नहीं हुआ
हो जाएगा. तो चुनाव में यहाँ गोवा में नेशनल पार्टी है, रीजनल भी पार्टी है. तो अभी हमारा सरकार अलायंस पार्टनर का है. अगर हम लोग सब साथ में चुनाव लड़ेंगे, ऐसा हमारा कोशिश रहेंगे.
साथ में लड़ेंगे?
हाँ, साथ में कोशिश है हमारी. तो थोड़ा भी कॉम्प्रोमाइज दूसरा ही पार्टी ने करना चाहिए ना. एक सीट अगर उनको दिया तो एक सीट एमजी को देना चाहिए, तो कॉम्प्रोमाइज होगा.
हाँ. और शिरोडा सीट को लेके काफी सारे बातें चल रहे हैं. दीपक धावलीकर क्या विड्रॉ करेंगे, क्योंकि वो अलायंस पार्टनर का सीट है.
हमारी तरफ से शिरोडा का सीट मगो पक्ष के लिए छोड़ना चाहिए. बाकी के सीट में हम क्लेम नहीं करेंगे.
अच्छा,
ठीक है ना. इसी का अलायंस पार्टनरशिप का फायदा गोवा को होगा. हम झगड़ा करेंगे तो कैसा फायदा रहेगा. तो दोनों साइड से
very honest opinions there, but thank you so much for speaking to us, sir. Well, obviously, I mean, nothing. The floor test has been won. The government is stable. The government stays, but there are 3 assembly bipoles, like I said, and Goa, when it comes to politics, never fails to throw a surprise. So you can never know what happens. But yes, the bipole has been won, and obviously it's a relief for the BJP, though the BJP were confident about the numbers.